Yeah, what up, Greg?
Hello, welcome to today's episode of Juicing the Numbers. I am your host, Joshua Tracy.
And I am Corwin Heller.
And
Kel Grant couldn't be with us this week, so.
Yeah, she's off busy having a life. Yeah, I think that's what they call it, a life.
I don't know what that is, so.
Yeah, neither do I at this point. Anyway, we're going to do a little bit of... I feel like we haven't done two-sport anything in a while. So today we're going to be doing... it's a little bit on the MLB and a little bit on the NFL. We're going to be talking about which teams are... where the playoff race currently lies in the MLB, and using the Baseball Reference playoff odds, where we think teams will be in the conclusion of the season in 1 month. We are in very much so the home stretch. This is where teams either decide to start playing their youngsters or really make a push to try to gain ground. So use the Baseball Reference playoff odds there, as well as the current divisional standings. And then we'll pivot into the NFL to talk about our preseason predictions in the sense of record and division winners there. You ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So let's start. We're going to start with baseball here. Let's start with the National League. We never start with the National League.
I wonder why.
So as of right now, the NL East stands at Braves at 81-54, Nationals. How many games back are they?
What website are you using for this?
Baseball Reference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's weird. It doesn't
thought
have
you'd be
games
using
back
Fangraph.
listed easily. It's fucking annoying. Anyway, the Phillies, the Mets, and the Marlins in that order. So we got Braves, Nats, Phils, Mets, and Marlins. As it stands right now, the postseason chance for the Braves is at greater than 99.9%. The Nationals stand at 95.6%. The Phils at 15.3%. The Mets just nosediving at 5.3%, and the Marlins at 0, as they've already been eliminated. Do you see any of this changing?
No. Maybe the Mets falling further.
Oh, yeah, I think that's a fucking given. Yeah, the Phillies right now are 6 games over 500. They're sitting at 69 and 63. Which I'm not sure how much I think that they can vault over any teams to actually put them in a postseason spot. Which are what's worse to you? Because these are actually two interesting teams. The Phillies not making the postseason after buying in the offseason, or the Mets not making the postseason after buying at the trade deadline?
I think the Mets not getting in, even though they're buyers, is honestly not surprising at all. Due to them being the Mets, and I never really understood how they were doing well to begin the season. Very much overachieving, so I don't think that's really a surprise at all. Maybe a tiny one.
Yeah. So the Phillies right now are 3 games back of the Chicago Cubs for the second wild card spot. And they are a few more games, I think 5 games back altogether of the Washington Nationals in their own division. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't see this shit changing at all. Yeah. Want to move on to the Central?
Yeah.
All right. We got the St. Louis Cardinals on top of the division as it stands right now at 73 and 59. Right behind them, the Chicago Cubs, 72 and 61. The Brewers, 68 65. The Reds, 63 and 70. And at the bottom, the Pirates, 57 and 77, 20 games under 500. Now, this is actually a very interesting division in terms of who's going to win it at the end, given it's been so tight this whole season. What do you make of the NL Central right now?
I really don't know. I mean, like, it's still a 3-horse race in my mind between the Brewers, the Cubs, and the Cardinals. I mean, there's not many games left, but any one of these teams, the Cardinals could slide, the Brewers could shoot right up. I don't think it's very crazy at all to have any one of those 3 making it in. I know the Brewers kind of have a not much window left, but I still think they have a fairly larger chance than what they say at 9.7% at making it in.
Yeah, this is one of the things I think makes this last month so fascinating because all three of these teams want to be in. Like they all bought in the offseason or at the trade deadline. Obviously, every team wants to be in, but these teams have went into the season expecting to be in, whereas like the Reds and the Pirates weren't so much. So the Pirates' first half success and the Reds' second half success were welcome, but ultimately, what they were welcome surprises, not intentional. We're recording this on Friday the 30th of August. So tonight starts the Brewers Cubs series, actually. So we could see a lot shifting over the course of the weekend that we're not talking about right now. But as it stands right now, the Cardinals have an 84.6% chance of making the playoffs. The Cubs have a 77.9 and the Brewers at 9.7. And I think that, what you said is pretty much spot on. This has been a 3-horse race all season. These teams have just been stealing wins from each other. Like, I think all three of these teams are phenomenal, but are just getting like weighed down by each other, just beating the crap out of each other. So this series coming up this weekend that's about to happen that we don't get the chance to talk about right now between the Cubs and the Brewers will be really fucking interesting, because if the Brewers, perfect world, sweep the Cubs, then they're at 71 and 65 to the Cubs 72 and 64. So they'd only be like one game back there. And that might even be enough to get them. It'd be tough. It would certainly jump them over Arizona and Philly, depending on what those two teams do over the weekend, to be just out like the team on the border of the wild card game. But fuck, man, it's going to be a fascinating race for the NL Central in this last month of September.
Josh?
Yeah?
Oh, sorry, you just cut out there. Yeah, I don't know what you ended on there, so.
Oh, let's move on to the West then.
Okay, all right.
We have Los Dodgers sitting on top. This is the least interesting division to talk about. They have the Dodgers on top. Seriously. The Diamondbacks and Dodgers have they have their record is 88 and 48. They are the Diamondbacks below them at 68 and 66. Then the Giants at 65 and 68. The Padres at 62 and 71, and the Rockies at 59 and 76. Just for reference for how fucking boring this division is, the Dodgers have a greater than 99% chance of making the postseason. The Diamondbacks,
99.9.
Sorry, yes, my bad, 99.9. The Diamondbacks have an 11% chance of making the playoffs, and they're the second place team in the division. This division's not. If it moves at all, it moves in such an insignificant fucking way.
Yeah, seriously. Like, oh no, the Rockies jump up over the Padres. Okay. Or the Padres jump the Giants. Okay. It would not affect anyone in any way.
Yeah, the second place team, the Diamondbacks, aren't even on the cusp of making the postseason. Like they'd have to leapfrog the Phillies to do it. And I know I just held out hope that Milwaukee could, but I think Milwaukee's much better and just in a different circumstance. These teams are all boring. The Padres are actually kind of exciting. Because of their young talent. They just had some rough luck on pitching. And injuries, of course. Every team with the injuries. But yeah, man, this division fucking sucks.
Is there really anything to even talk about with them? I mean, we could talk about how great the Dodgers are, but I know you probably don't want to do that.
Would you rather... What would be funnier for you? If the Dodgers got eliminated in the first round of the playoffs this year, or they made it to the World Series for the third year straight and then lost again? What's funnier?
The first one has to be funnier because it's significantly less sad than them losing a third straight World Series.
I don't know, man. That second scenario would be fucking hilarious.
The memes would be phenomenal, but my God, that would be so awful for LA fans. Like, that would be awful. Granted,
You wouldn't
it's
catch me
the
complaining at all.
Dodgers, so chances are they're going to make the World Series. They have a 45% chance of winning the pennant. Holy shit.
Oh
That's
shit, is it that
ridiculous.
high?
Yeah, it's right
Wow,
there in that
yeah.
table.
Yeah,
No one else
30%
has
chance of
higher
winning
than
the
a
World
13.
Series.
18.3 is the next highest. That's fucked.
Damn, okay. Yeah. Yo, their World Series winning odds is 30 point. I guess they're the only team in the National League to take it because the Yankees and the Astros, I guess, might be taking points from each other, which I guess
Yeah.
brings us to the American League. The AL East is currently led by the New York Yankees at 88 and 47. Followed by the Tampa Bay Rays at 77 and 58. The Boston Red Sox at 72 and 62. Toronto Blue Jays at 54 and 81. And the Baltimore Orioles at a lofty 44 and 89.
I know you're going to love this, but I love that Boston went from being a World Series, contender favorite to missing the playoffs.
Yeah, they have a
It's so
2.8% chance of making the postseason.
Yep.
And to do it, they'd have to leapfrog Tampa Bay, who currently does not hold a playoff spot. And then they have to beat out like either Oakland, who's been red hot, or Cleveland, who's been even hotter than that.
Super hot.
Yeah, so I just can't believe, like, if you told me that Boston had missed the playoffs this year, I would definitely be surprised. But I'd have to have assumed that, like, they finished with 95 wins, but like the Rays finished with 96 and the Yankees finished with 98 or some shit, or flip flop those teams. Doesn't matter. Like all of us won over 90, 95 games, and Boston just got fucked, But for them to be 10 games over 500, like that's it. Damn. This is wonderful.
Right?
I love it.
There was a second there where I was like, oh, damn, Josh is being compassionate to the Red Sox. And then you just smashed it. Love it.
Yeah, no, fuck that team. Fuck them motherfuckers. Fuck
Honestly,
that whole
though, I don't see these standings changing literally at all until the end of the season.
No, I don't think so either. I also
There's
think
too
that
much spread between the teams,
I also think so. One of the things that I've heard a lot about, because I listen to a lot of sports talk radio. We live in the area, so I hear a lot of Mets talk. And the conversation around the Mets is, if they could somehow just sneak into the wild card, their pitching is so good that you could see them having a chance winning a few games like 2-1 or some shit, because their offense still isn't shit. And as much as I think that that's a little bit far fetched because the team has proven to be bad, or it's proven to at least be mediocre, I don't think you could even say that about the Red Sox, because the problem with the Red Sox is that, like, yeah, their hitting's really good, but their pitching is really, really bad. And if the Red Sox actually somehow managed to squeak into the wild card, I can't imagine their postseason run would be anything.
No, it would be a very early exit. They might win Sale's game.
Sale's gone. He's gone for the whole year.
He's fucking out for the season. Oh yeah, they're screwed. They are so screwed. I totally forgot he had his elbow.
Yeah. So I guess the Price would have been their wild card game starter, and his season's been fine, but it's not like
it's
not for Sale.
It's not David Price of old, that's for sure.
Yeah. So
barely Price of new.
Happy camper on my end. And the Baltimore Orioles, Corwin, are coming very, very close. They're very likely to ruin your prediction here of winning fewer than 47 games.
Unfortunately. Worst case scenario on according to Baseball Reference with a 90% confidence interval or confidence index, 52. So it looks like I will be losing that prediction.
If they finished 61 and 101, I don't even know what I would make of that. That'd be astonishing, wouldn't it?
Nearly impossible.
The Baltimore Orioles winning 17 more games?
No, not at all.
It's almost half the ones they have now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that'd be super fun, though. All right, let's move on to the AL Central. I didn't mention the odds real quick. Just very, very quick. New York Yankees have a greater than 99.9% chance of making the postseason. Tampa Bay Rays have a 27.7% chance. And as I said, the Red Sox have a 2.8, with both the Blue Jays and Orioles already being eliminated. the AL Central. We've got the Minnesota Twins currently sitting on top of that division, 82-51. Cleveland Indians, 79-55. Chicago White Sox, 60-73. Kansas City Royals, who just got sold today, 47-88. And the Detroit Tigers, 39-92. This one's interesting in a divisional lead change aspect.
Yes.
Because if I was a Twins fan, would be shaking in my britches.
Yes. Yes. Excuse me for one moment, Josh.
Are you like leaving?
All right. Now that I have my Cleveland cap on, let's get started with the AL Central.
Look my balls.
All right. Where do you want to start with how good the Cleveland Indians are? And I can say that I am somewhat of a fan of a very good team and aren't the Pirates.
I'm just astonished about how these two teams played this season out, because I think there was a stretch of time where you could say objectively the Cleveland Indians were playing bad baseball.
That was a long stretch of time too.
And I don't think you can say that about the Minnesota Twins. I don't think they've ever played bad. They've played some like okay baseball, but I don't think they've ever played bad baseball. And yet here we are.
That should just say how fucking hot they were to start the season, and just the natural regression brought them back to being still a top 2 team in the AL Central and very much a playoff, contender for the World Series.
And I think that shows really just how incredibly hot the Indians have been, because they went from playing, like we both said, bad baseball to being literally 3 games out of the division, right?
Yeah.
3.5?
3? I don't remember what you said.
I think 3.5 games. Yeah, 3.5 games out of the division. That's huge.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to both these teams are making the postseason. I'm not sure which one's going to end up making the wild card right now. I have zero confidence in that. I don't know. Do you think it matters?
Even as a fan of the Cleveland Indians, to the degree that I am, I don't see them beating out the Twins. I think it's going to be like a 1-game, half-game type spread, but I think it's just going to be right there. I think they're going to be like half a game, 1 game short.
Do you think it's going to end up mattering in the end? Because, no matter who wins that division, they're not going to have home field advantage between having to play either the Yankees or the Astros.
Exactly.
Do you think that makes it easier on the two of them? Obviously, both teams want to win the division, but you don't have to worry about like trying to secure home field.
Yeah, I still think the division race is still locked up. They want to do that.
Yeah, I guess.
I think it's a little bit less stress than it would be, but nothing crazy.
Turning our attention to the bottom of the standings very quickly, the Detroit Tigers. I was not expecting them to be this fucking bad.
I wasn't either.
I didn't expect them to be good, but
No.
Jesus. Their best possible record is 50 wins.
Which is nuts. No, I see theirs as
a 55.
Best is 55, yeah.
Still, Jesus.
It's rough.
I don't know what the fuck that team's planning on doing, because at least Baltimore completely retooled their front office and their analytics staff, and they started taking on bonus pool money, and they've been drafting better. Baltimore is going to be on the come up in a season or 2. Detroit. Ooh, God, what the fuck?
I mean, they've got some great young prospects. It's just I don't have any faith in anyone other than those 3-4 guys. Not players, not in the organization, not in ownership. Just I don't.
Yeah. Touching on the Royals real quick, 47-88's pretty shitty, but I think they played fun baseball this year. In terms of their team being sold, did you hear anything about what came out today?
Very little.
Apparently, the current owner was trying to sell it very quickly, which he did because I heard about it, I think, last week, and it got sold today.
Mm-hmm.
Health issues.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is really like I said, I was kind of surprised he was selling it because he seemed so committed to the team and committed to the rebuild, and being generally what you would expect a good owner to be. And so I was pretty surprised that he was in talks of selling it, and this makes it make a lot more sense, but also makes me pretty sad.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of how you feel towards the Tigers, that's awful news.
The Royals, but yeah.
Oh, geez, sorry. I was looking at the standings and I just saw Detroit right there.
And then to briefly touch upon the White Sox, because I actually like a lot of the teams in this division. 60-73 is not terrible. Their best possible record is 78-84, which if they got that, I would be tempted to call that a successful season. Because when they didn't get a few prime free agents, and mainly Manny Machado, I don't think that team expected to be in the playoff hunt, but to be another 13 games under 500, but that's actually still a lot better than I was expecting. Lucas Giolito really came out this year. Yohan Moncada took a step forward.
Yeah. I love seeing Giolito back being what he was supposed to be as a draft pick.
I'm kind of looking forward to this White Sox team next year.
I don't know about that, but they'll be an exciting team.
I think that with the plethora of starting pitchers that are supposed to be on the free agency market this year, and the team showing as much promise as they did, if they went out and actually got even just one of the starting pitchers available on a big contract for them, I could see that being a lot for them. And that kid that had to have Tommy John surgery for them, the rookie, something with a K.
Oh, Michael Kopech.
Yeah, he should be back by then. Sometime
he will
in the middle of the year. So that could end up being a decent little team there,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
they got.
Go ahead.
They still do have some good prospects in the mix, I think.
I believe they do. I think their farm system's up there.
Was their top pick 2 years ago? I'll look it up while we move on.
Yeah. So moving on. Another this division's got a little bit going on right now. The AL West, the final division we're going to talk about, the Houston Astros currently lead it, 87-48. The Oakland Athletics then at 77-56. The Texas Rangers at 65-70. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim 64-71, and the Seattle Mariners at 57-78. I'm not sure. Did I mention the postseason odds for the AL Central?
I don't think so.
The bottom three teams, it doesn't matter because they're all eliminated from the playoffs, with barring the Chicago White Sox right now, but they're going to be any minute. The Minnesota Twins have a 99.3% chance of making the postseason. The Cleveland Indians have an 83.4% chance of making the postseason. So both of those teams are making the postseason. The Houston Astros currently have a greater than 99.9% chance.
Before we move on,
yes.
Since we move back, do you want to hear the top 5 prospects in the White Sox system right now? Because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, sure. Lay it on me.
So their number one guy is Luis Robert, who is likely to be the number 2 prospect, early on next year. Michael Kopech, who we talked about. Andrew Vaughn, who is probably the best hitter coming out of the draft this year. And Nick Madrigal, who was a top 2 pick 2 years ago. They're loaded.
That's nice.
Yeah. Plus, they got some other Dane Dunning too. He's a top 100 player, but still, damn, White Sox have a good future.
Yeah, if that team will just spend some money, man, they got the farm.
Oh, they have the farm.
Oh, they got and then the next year they'll be playing in a farm.
All right, that's a good one. I like that.
Thank you. So yes, the Houston Astros currently have a greater than 99.9% chance of making the postseason. The Oakland Athletics have an 86.8% chance, and then the rest of the team is either the rest of the division is either already eliminated or on the precipice of being so.
Nice vocabulary.
Thank you, my friend. The Houston Astros are winning the division. The real question is Oakland. So the wild card standings right now is Cleveland, up 1.5 games over Oakland. Those two teams are currently positioned to be wild cards 1 and 2. and then Tampa right on the ass of Oakland. And then you have to go down from there to get to Boston, who are 6.5 games out, and it's not enough. It's just they're not going to do it. But those three teams are not separated by a whole lot. Cleveland 79-55, Oakland 77-56, Tampa 77-58. Do you think Oakland can maintain?
They're only going to get better. I mean, they're getting Frankie Montas back from suspension. I think within the next week or two, depending on how much ramp up he needs. They're getting Sean Manaea back, and with how awful their pitching is compared to the rest of their team, they're looking pretty good to keep up with a wild card spot at least. So I love it.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. As it stands right now, the wild card game in the American League would be Cleveland versus Oakland in Cleveland. Who do you think would take that game?
I think Cleveland would. I just don't see how, if we start a guy like Clevenger or Bauer, Mike Fiers is going to be able to keep up with that. I mean, granted, it's the wild card. Literally anything can happen. That's what it's there for. But realistically, I don't see them keeping up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think you're probably right. Cleveland's been much better in terms of pitching than the Athletics have been all season, and their hitting I think has been decently comparable. The Jose Ramirez injury hurts for Cleveland, but is what it is. Since I didn't ask, as it stands right now in the National League, the wild card game would be between the Washington Nationals and the Chicago Cubs in Washington. Who do you got in that one?
I got the Nationals.
Yeah.
Pitching again. Cubs have some awful pitching this year, and Nationals, believe it or not, pretty good.
That and the Cubs apparently just can't play away from home.
Yeah, very true.
So, yeah. Anything crazy you see upcoming for these teams or for the playoff race as it stands? I know we kind of went through it all already, but any closing thoughts, I should say?
Unfortunately not. It's kind of, outside of like 2 races, it's kind of boring this year. There's really not much going on.
Yeah, I'd say both wild card races are relatively interesting, but there's no good divisional races right now.
Maybe the AL Central, but like we talked about earlier, like the stakes are super low for the, winner/loser of that. So it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I'm fully on board with this. There's they've been okay in terms of being interesting. Oh well.
Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on?
Real quick, as I pulled it up.
Cool.
The Twins' first half win percent. What do you think it was?
Something stupid like 69%.
62.9%.
Close enough. 69 was a cooler number.
It was, and it was there. It was just kind of a little bit of meat in the middle there. The second half win percent. Yeah?
Nice.
Yeah. The second half win percent. What do you think that was? Or is, I guess.
55?
59.1.
Damn.
That really just goes to show how fucking amazing the Indians were in the second half.
Oh no, man. They won 55% of their games. They must be awful now, right? Yeah,
truly. I want to see real quick. Actually, their first half win percent isn't as low as I thought it was. It's 56.8 for the Cleveland Indians.
That's actually not bad at all.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe they just started the season so rough. It was hard to see.
It was definitely not pretty, especially with all the pitching injuries. I forgot to mention, they also are getting Carrasco back.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So that's a big boost. Oh, man. Imagine if Carrasco started the wild card game.
I would cry. Real human tears.
Yeah. If he won that game, oh, my God. I would cry. I'm a grown-ass man. I would cry.
And the Cleveland's second half performance has been at a 630 win percent, which actually is better than the first half that the Twins had. So goes to show how
pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, how amazing they've been playing baseball. But anyway, shall we move into the NFL?
Let's do it. I love me some football.
You want to start with the AFC East because that's what's on top of my page.
Yeah, let's do it. Can we actually do it by mind? Because I'm actually keeping note of these.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, totally fine with me. I have no preference here.
Yeah, I mean, the Patriots look like they are, in fact, the Patriots. The Jets, I think they're going to do a lot better than a lot of people are going to do. And Josh touched on that, I think, when he was on the Sports Trebuchet podcast. Dolphins with Rosen, I don't know what the fuck they're doing right now. If they trade Laramie Tunsil for Jadeveon Clowney and plus, I have a lot less hope in Rosen.
That Ryan Fitzpatrick was going to be their starter?
I don't think they announced that fully yet. I think they were going to wait until after this game to do it.
Okay.
Because Fitz isn't playing in the final preseason game tomorrow, I think. We're recording this before, obviously. And Rosen's going to start, I think, the full first half. So we'll see. I mean, if they start Fitzpatrick for any more than like 4 games, that franchise is a joke.
Or Josh Rosen's just so much worse than we thought he was.
But he's not, though, because I refuse to give in that quickly on him. So he's not.
Hey, he could be.
You heard it here.
He could be the Dolphins' Christian Hackenberg.
Touche. All right, touche. Let's not talk about that. Let's move on.
Give me the Bills.
They're the Bills. I mean, they have almost no weapons under the age of 35 on offense. Their 2 best offensive players outside their quarterback collect Social Security. LaShawn McCoy and Frank Gore. Dude, I don't know. If they hit 500, that's wildly outside of my expectations.
Do you have any record predictions you want to go down or
Oh shit, yeah. I had those written down somewhere. I think the Patriots are probably going to win 11, maybe 12 games if they're lucky. I think the Jets are going to go 9-7 with the Dolphins going like 6-10 at best, probably closer to 5-11, 4-12, and I think the Bills are probably going to have 6, maybe 7 wins.
Yeah, I'll be more generous to the Pats. I'll put them at a solid 12-4, if not 13-3. I'll give the Jets 9-7. The Finns, I'll put at 5-11, and the Bills, I'll squeak them a little bit higher. I'll give them 6-10.
All right, I gotta fuck with my Excel doc a little bit. So, do you want to jump into the next group, and then I'll follow up?
You want to do the AFC North next?
Sure.
All right, cool. I have to probably still say Pittsburgh. I think it'll be interesting to see if like Pittsburgh has a similar storyline to what the Washington Nationals just had, where it's like one of the biggest stars on the team and like one of their best players left. But hey, turns out they have a bunch of other really good players. Like, who'd have thunk it? They're still good. They still made the playoffs. So I'm going to give the Steelers the division at a cool, like, huh?
Well, they didn't last year.
Well, no, but you know,
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know.
I think I'll give the Pittsburgh an 11-5 record. I'll be pretty generous to them there, because I think the Bengals are going to take a step back and they might feast on them a little bit. In addition to the Ravens, I see as being a 9-7 team. I do not believe in them. I'll give the Browns. I'll give them a 9-7 as well, although I'm pretty hesitant on it because on Sports Trebuchet I gave them, I think, a 7-9. But I'm just hedging my bets here.
Fair enough. That's the smartest way to do it.
The Bengals I'm giving 2-14 because fuck that fucking stupid goddamn team and everyone who supports it. That team should be moved somewhere else.
Yeah, they absolutely should.
No, Cincinnati doesn't deserve sports. They've lost the privilege.
I don't disagree with you. Aquino for the Reds. He's pretty dope. So,
that's the thing in Cleveland.
Him and Joey Votto.
Yeah, keep the Reds. Everything else you should go.
Right. Yeah, fuck you, Cincinnati. Your chili sucks.
Oh, Skyline.
Yeah, it's awful. Ugh.
Fuck your chili.
And
Tell me
Andrew
about it.
Whitworth, longtime Bengals left tackle, who is now playing for the Rams, was on the Pardon My Take podcast, and he ripped into Skyline Chili. He's like, you know what? I tried it once, and I couldn't eat it, guys. It's so bad. You guys have Stockholm syndrome. That's the only reason you guys like this food.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So tell me what your take is there on the AFC North.
I am actually switching from the start of the preseason, the start of training camp, where I thought, the Steelers were going to suck so bad. I thought they were absolutely going to lose out to the Browns, be on the cusp of the playoffs. Or at least looking back, I feel like I was that low. I might not have actually been, but it feels like I was, just because I am all for them being a great team this year. They're going to lose a couple games because they're the Steelers, and they're going to lose to like the fucking Buccaneers or the Bengals, because we always do every year. But man, they just have so much talent all over that field. Their defense is looking so much better than it did last year, even just in training camp in the preseason. I'm very excited to see how that ends up with Devin Bush back there. The Ravens, I'm not sold on their offense. Their defense is going to be fantastic, especially if they could figure out what their pass rush situation is going to be. I'm just not sold on that offense. I think the Chargers really did figure them out last year in the playoffs, and I don't think they're going to be able to advance on as much as they think they're going to be able to in the passing game to develop anything consistent. The Browns, I think the only thing that's going to hold them back is absolutely no tackles, offensive tackles. It's just like gaping black holes in my mind. That offense is going to be tricky. And I think Freddie Kitchens, being a rookie head coach after starting last season as a running backs coach, I mean, it's going to be tough to be a full-time head coach, and he's going to have his hurdles that he's going to have to jump across. I believe in the guy. I really like the guy. I just think they're going to have some issues this season. And then, like you said, the Bengals are a black hole of the sports franchise, and I have no faith in them whatsoever. So for the Steelers, I see them going 11-5. They're going to lose some big games. They're going to lose some fucking pointless games. That's just the way the Steelers are. Ravens, I have going 9-7, just because I don't think that defense is going to be able to hold up. I don't want to say gimmicky, but a questionable offense. Browns, I've got going 9-7 for the same, small red flags that I had with the Ravens, and I think the Bengals, like you said, go 2-14 because they suck.
They deserve 2-14.
They most definitely have the worst offensive line in football. The Bengals, it's so bad.
And the ugliest fans and the worst sidewalks.
And the smallest dicks.
Just really specific insults. AFC South?
Go for it.
Okay. Well, the Colts. No, they're not going to be bad. I wonder how much of the prep for their season was, surrounded by assuming Andrew Luck would play, and if there needs to be an adjustment in playbooks to accommodate Jacoby Brissett's skill set instead. Not that, because I don't think Brissett's bad. You and I have talked about this before. I'm a little bit maybe less high on him than you are, just because I am generally skeptical of everything. So I'll square them in at like 7-9, 8-8. Like, I don't think they're going to be bad, but I think that the Texans will be good again. I'll give the Texans like a 10-6, 11-5. The Titans, I have no fucking clue. I'll put them at 8-8. And the Jaguars, I think, will be marginally better than last year because Nick Foles, I think, can at least be more reliable than Blake Bortles. So I'll give them a 6-10, but I don't think they're going to do much there. The Colts is the team I feel the least comfortable with. The Titans are right there too. Those are two teams I really, really don't know, but I'll give them both relatively middle of the pack performances.
Fair enough.
Lay it on me.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the Jaguars because my list is set up weird. I don't have a lot of faith in Nick Foles, but I do have a lot of faith in that defense. I think Leonard Fournette's going to come back for some positive regression this year. I think D.D. Westbrook's going to step out as a receiver. I think Nick Foles is going to be Nick Foles and just be league average. But I still see that defense pushing them to like a 9-7 season, 8-8, 9-7. But I think they're definitely going to be much closer to where they were 2 years ago than they were last year. The Colts, I don't see dropping too much with Jacoby Brissett. I have them going 9-7 as well. This is just all around a roster built to succeed, and I love that. I don't think they're going to fall as much as a lot of people are saying they will. The Texans, I have them going 11-5. Really, that left tackle situation is scary. But outside of that, they have a pretty damn good team. That and their running back situation. I love Duke Johnson, but I don't know if he's going to be able to carry the load for them. I definitely see them picking up one of Kenneth Dixon or Carlos Hyde, both of whom are going to get cut by their teams for final cutdowns. I see one of them latching on there and just being a jag for them this year. And then the Titans, I got them going 8-8. There's no aspect of that team that I look at them and think that's going to really excel this year. They're going to have a pretty good defense. They're going to have a pretty okay offense. Special teams is special teams. There's not much to write home about there. I couldn't think of a more average team in my mind.
Average team. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Damn. We are on top of it with each other.
Just clicking.
All right. AFC West. You want me to jump into this one first?
Yeah, go ahead. Get started, bud.
Let's fucking do it. All right. I got the Chiefs. Man, that team just looks scary. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Who would have thought the Chiefs are a really good team? I got nothing to say. I mean, their offense is going to be fucking wicked. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman. I think Damian Williams is going to lose out a lot of touches to Darwin Thompson, which is going to be pretty cool to see. Defense has, they got Frank Clark. They got some good players all over the field. It will be enough to keep up with the offense, though. I guess I'll give my record now. I have them going 13-3 because they're dope and they do dope shit. The Raiders, man, what a fucking preseason they've had. I don't get them as a team. I don't get John Gruden. I know that's more of something that's my fault than it is anything else. I don't like them. I'm going to be honest. I don't like the Raiders. I got them going 6-10, which is a step up, but not by much and not up to John Gruden standards. Chargers, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen with Melvin Gordon, but if he plays for them for most of the year, I think they're an 11-win team. If he doesn't, I think they're a 10-win team, so it doesn't really matter too much. But as of right now, he's not playing for them, so I have him going 10-6. That defense is just phenomenal. Even with Derwin James out, it's such a great defense, super underrated. And then the Broncos, Joe Flacco, way to go, guys. Von Miller, Bradley Chubb are going to light up that defense. Be lights on that defense, fucking whatever. But that offense is going to be weird. Really young, really weird, just like it was last year. But now instead of Case Keenum, you got Joe Flacco, which is a pretty parallel move all around. So I think they're going to go like 7-9.
I saw a Patriots fan on Twitter the other day say that if money wasn't an issue, I'd love to have Von Miller on the Patriots.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I'm like, yeah, no fucking kidding. Shit, guy. Like, duh. Jeez,
hot take right there. Jeez.
Yeah. If money was an issue, I'd also like to have Michael Thomas on my team. Like,
yeah, exactly. Fucking give me Tom Brady as a backup QB so he could, help us out. Why not?
Just
Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady,
NFL All-Pro roster, and yes, those are the people I want on my team. No fucking duh. If money wasn't a fucking issue, lick my goddamn butthole. This is insane.
Seriously. You know what? Right. I'd really love to have Jerry Rice on my team. If age and money wasn't an issue, I'd sign him today.
Yeah, if time didn't exist, give me Jerry Rice from 1989. Kansas City Chiefs, yeah, you picked my record for two of these teams on the fucking nose. Kansas City Chiefs, I also think 13-3 is pretty fair. Pretty fair. They're only gonna lose 3 times. That makes
Pretty,
sense. No, I think they're
pretty
another
fair.
year of Mahomes doing well. Maybe teams are better equipped now that they've had a season of Mahomes to make adjustments around his skill set. But unless that gets proven, I'm going to say 12-4, 13-3. The Chargers, I think, will take a very, very small step back, but I also have picked them as a 10-6, 11-5 team. The Raiders, I have just fucking no goddamn clue. You could tell me that the Raiders are going to go 3-13 and just fall apart, and you could tell me that the Raiders are going to go 9-7 somehow through just the magic of Oakland and like almost snag a wild card spot. And I go like, oh, okay, man, like why not? We've already done everything else. So I'll put them at 5-11 because fuck them. The Broncos, I think just how lateral of a move Joe Flacco and Case Keenum are is going to be reflected in their record, which will hold at 6-10, as it was last year.
Damn straight.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to really like. I think that for the Broncos, what's his fucking face? The GM, the quarterback,
John Elway.
Elway. Thank you. God damn, you know how bad I am with names. I think Elway's got to be on the hot seat this season.
Oh, for sure. I think it may not be this season. I think they're going to give him 2 or 3 just to keep him stuck with Drew Lock. But I think him and Drew Lock are kind of tied at the hip as far as their fates.
Yeah, that's fair. You want to do the jump on into the NFC?
Sure thing. So first up, we got the NFC East. Giants, Cowboys, Redskins, Eagles. Man, the Giants' prediction would be so much easier if they picked a quarterback. And even if they didn't, at least be doing something that we could make an assumption. But I have no fucking idea when Daniel Jones is ever going to start. I just, outside of Saquon Barkley and Evan Engram in my mind, like this team is just sad. I don't see them performing any better than they did last year. I actually kind of see them regressing without, Odell and Olivier Vernon. I got them going 4-12, which if Eli starts the whole season, I think is kind of high. If they actually do give Daniel Jones the reins at all, especially early, maybe they get to 5 or 6 wins. I don't know. I want to find something good in this team because Saquon's there, but it's really hard. That's what she said.
I was talking to Pete the other day, and he was saying that, like since Odell got traded and Landon Collins are both no longer on the team,
Oh,
he
fuck,
doesn't
I
have any
forgot Landon
active,
Collins.
yeah, he doesn't have any active player jersey. I guess no, he still has his Eli jersey, but he was like, he's on the way out. Like, I need a jersey. And he was saying like, I'm thinking maybe I'll get a Sterling Shepard jersey. And I'm like, ooh, really?
That's the highest bar you can go.
Yeah, you're going to go for a solid wide receiver 3? Like, really? So that I think describes where the Giants are currently in life.
So I guess the Cowboys are next.
Yeah, go for it.
Supposedly they are very much being, preparing to have Zeke sit out for a good chunk of the season. Man, that would be really great if he did play. But I don't love Dak Prescott. I like their defense. I don't love their defense. They have a ton of really key parts in that front 7, but it's just not enough to really love them. I got them going like max 10-6, probably closer to 9-7 if, Zeke doesn't come back for a good chunk of it. But for now, I'll hold firm at 10 wins, which kind of seems like too much. Next up, the Redskins. Man, what a shit show of a franchise. Trent Williams is very adamant never to play there again, which is not too much of an ask, all things considered, with how they treat players. They are a solid 5-win team. They just don't got much going on. So I got them going 5-11. That math adds up. Yeah. And then lastly, the Eagles, Super Bowl champions. If Carson Wentz can stay healthy, MVP favorite up there with Mahomes. I have them winning 11 solid games, going 11-5. Their defense, top notch, so much depth in so many key areas. Just truly built like a championship team.
The Eagles aren't the Super Bowl champs.
No, built like a Super Bowl team.
Oh, no. At the beginning of it, you said Eagles, Super Bowl champs. They are not.
All right. Well, they were 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
Yeah, the Cowboys I have going a very unimpressive 9-7.
Yeah.
Because that team is by and large unimpressive. And this is going to be, I think, a big test for Dak. Because if the contract shit doesn't get resolved, then this basically becomes a prove it season. You know, this becomes a year where he gets to show, all right, Zeke isn't going to be around for either a few games or the whole year, which means people don't get to use the excuse anymore of like, well, you have one of the top 3 running backs to rely upon. Like now it's on you. So if he either needs to step up or he's going to get exposed. And I don't care for Deke. So Dak, God. So yeah, I don't hold much confidence in him. I think a 9-7 win season is perfectly deserved. I was going to go fucking like, and for my bold prediction, the Eagles go 12-4, and then you stole some of that thunder. I'll put them at 11-5. So I'm going to give them 12-4. I'm going to say that Carson Wentz is actually healthy all season, which might also be a bold prediction in its own right. And yeah, they that you said everything I was going to say, and it kind of hurts.
You're welcome. I'll let you take the next 2. You could start off with this.
Oh, thanks, pal.
Steal your thunder.
The Giants, I think I'll be a little bit kinder to. I think the Giants are probably going to end up ruining their own draft position again by trying too hard and ultimately winning games that they shouldn't. I think they'll probably be like a 6-10 win team, or 6-10 record team, maybe even 7-9. Just because it'd be the most Giants thing possible to refuse to just suck a dick for one season. They do have a few glimmers of talent, most of which is being shown by Saquon Barkley. So, fucking maybe. I don't know. The Redskins would fall off the goddamn face of the planet. 3-13 was why not? Yeah.
Damn. Good shit.
You want to do the North?
I just told you were taking the next one, boyo.
All right, look at my dick. The Chicago Bears. I don't know. I'm going to give them 11-5 because they're good. At least they were last year. You know what? No, I'm changing my mind. I'm going to give them 10-6. I'm going to give them 10-6 because I still think that they're good. I don't think Trubisky's that good, but I think the team is good. Everything about them except Trubisky. I think that the Packers will probably be better. Either the Packers and or the Vikings will be better. So maybe the Bears don't clean up so much. I really don't know what to make of this division at all. Because last year I thought the Bears were going to suck and the Vikings would be really good and the Packers would be really good. And then none of that was true. The only consistent thing is the Lions being bad. And I think maybe they'll be better with another year under his belt of coaching for Matt Patricia. But if you told me this entire division went 8-8, I'd be like, yeah, all right. I have nothing to say.
Good. I really don't. Man, I want to like the Packers this year. I do. I think Aaron Rodgers and the offense can get it done. The defense, yikes, I'm not so sure about. I got them going like 10-6, 9-7. I want them to be 10-6. I don't know if they can get there, so I'll probably keep them at 9-7. The Lions, man, I don't got much hope for them. I got them going like 6-10. I don't know. Like, it's just one of those teams where like it's hard to see them doing any better than that. Like I feel like an 8-8 season would Probably be, upsetting for Lions fans because I want them to do well, but I don't see it this year. I really don't. I see them taking a big step back, somehow, some way. Uh, the Vikings, I love them. Uh, I think this is the year that it all clicks for them. I think they go like 11-5 with some gimmicky games in there, just because the top of the NFC is pretty tough, especially that division. But their defense is going to be one of the top in the league. Their defense is going to be one of the top in the league. It's going to be hard for them to do bad next year. And the Bears are going to be my spicy pick. I really see them going like 9-7 this year. They lose Vic Fangio. Um, they haven't seemed to be able to make it click on offense. Mitch Trubisky is just super inconsistent. It's some mechanical issues. It's some timing issues. There's just a whole lot going on. I see them taking a big step back this year, going something like 9-7.
Yeah, you sounded approximately as confident in this as I just did,
Yeah,
which I
right.
think is fair. So let's wrap it on up. Let's get to the NFC South and call it a day. Oh no, wait, there's 2 more divisions.
Yeah.
Fuck. NFC South.
South and the West.
I was just searching my baseball mindset. I'm like, we did 2 divisions. There's only one more. Nope. NFC South. We have the New Orleans Saints, which I think the entire world is probably really high on. 13-3 was the record last year. I could honestly see them repeating that. I think that would be not out of the realm of possibility. The team was really good last year. I don't think they lost any really key pieces, and they're probably going to be really good again this year. I'll hedge my bet, and I'll say like 12-4. But yeah, that team's awesome. The Falcons and the Panthers, I think, are huge question marks as of right now. I probably put them both right around where they finished last year at 7-9. Maybe I'll have them both be like 8-8. I'm gonna lump them together because in my mind they're the same fucking team right now. I'll say both are going to be like 8-8. Maybe one of them gets like a 9-7 in there, but I don't hold much confidence in anything else. And the Bucks, I think, are going to just suck a fat wad. 4-12, 3-13, barely alive.
I think this is. Oh no, never mind. Damn, I was excited because we were very different on 3 of the 4 of those. I went 12-4 like you did with the Saints because man, they're the Saints, but also 13-3 is really hard. So I think 12-4 is just a really safe ground for them. Honestly, I think that's pretty close to their floor. Like that team is so good. The Falcons, I have them going 10-6.
Nice.
I really like the Falcons. Defense, kind of scary, but I love that offense. I really see them doing big things. I think the defense is average this year, and I think that might be enough for that offense to keep them at 10-6.
Average might be an improvement for them.
Yeah, exactly. If they make it to like 9-7 and stop there, oh well, not too much of a loss. Panthers, I have them going 5-11. I just have nothing to like about the Panthers this year, mostly because Cam Newton is still hurt.
That's a good point. I didn't factor that point.
I don't know how they can go through another season of playing Cam Newton injured or a rookie Will Grier who has been super, super, super inconsistent in the preseason. Christian McCaffrey and Luke Kuechly can only take you so far. So I have them going 5-11. The same record as I have the Buccaneers going, because I think Bruce Arians is a goddamn wizard. I think Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are going to carry that offense with O.J. Howard and absolutely no running backs. That defense is just fucking doesn't matter because the offense is going to be the thing that carries them. So yeah, I'm taking a nice high 5-11. I think they can do it.
High 5-11. Interesting.
A high 5-11.
Okay.
Because they probably shouldn't win more than 3 or 4 with how some of that team is built.
All right, now let's finish it up.
Yep.
How about you start?
All right. The Rams, kind of like how you see the Panthers and the Falcons as the same team. That's how I feel with the Rams and the Saints. It's like it's going to be hard for them to lose games with how well that team is built and how good their coaching staffs are. So I just went 12-4 again just to keep things even. I think Jared Goff is underrated. I think Todd Gurley's injury has been overplayed. I think now that they have a fully healthy receiving core, they're going to be just as dynamic as they were to start the season last year. I think 12-4 is a very safe range for them, like it was with the Saints. The Cardinals, I've got them going 4-12. I've been very vocal about how much I am not sold on Kyler Murray. I love Cliff Kingsbury, but he hasn't exactly built the winningest teams in his career. I love the guy as a coach. Hopefully that defense can hold it together. Pat Pete's suspended for the first 4 games, so that's a huge loss for them. I think they're going to have another tough season ahead of them. The Seahawks, they're going to be different, but I still think they're going to pull out 10 wins because Russell Wilson can just kind of force it to happen every year. I don't know how exactly that works. It's one of those magics that I just don't have a grasp on. He just seems to get that team to double-digit wins, no matter how hard. I mean, they tried super hard last year and succeeded, but I don't see that happening again this year. And then the 49ers, injuries have been killing them again this year, as they do every year. That's something that I often overlook, especially at the start of the season. Just teams that can't stay healthy every year don't tend to just be healthy out of nowhere with no changes. So I think an 8-8 season for them is going to be right around where I think they're at. I really want them to do well. I think if they can stay healthy and that Shanahan offense clicks, I think they could be a dark horse playoff contender. But I'm going to have them at 8-8 until they can prove something.
All right. I think I'm with you on most of these. I think the Rams are going to do some bullshit and actually get better. 14-2. Let's do it. Let's fucking get there.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Why not? I think you hit the goddamn nail on the head with Seattle. That team kicks and screams to double-digit wins. It's
I don't know how
bizarre.
they do it. I really don't.
It's like the team doesn't want to. They just accidentally win the games. It's astonishing.
It truly drives me mad that they do it every year.
Yeah. So I'm going to say 9-7 though. Despite that, everything you said was perfect, but I'm going to just knock them a win because god damn it, they deserve to lose a little bit more.
Because fuck them. That's why.
The Niners, I don't know what to make of. Jimmy Garoppolo is supposed to start the season, right? He played in preseason and everything?
Yes.
Yeah. I still don't know if he's any good because he got injured so early last year.
Exactly.
So I want to be mean. I'm going to give him 5-11 because fuck that team. And I think at the end of the season, they're going to beg John Harbaugh to come back.
Damn, that's saying something.
And then the Cardinals are going to be weird and bad. And 4-12 is what I'm going to give them.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, not good for them, but like, that's funny.
Yeah, I think Kyler Murray will have like 3 games where like he won the game. And everyone goes like, oh, look, this is something we can build on. Like he looked so, remember those 3 games? He was really, really good in those ones. And then the rest of the time it'll be like, oh, Kyler, why are you doing that? And then the rest of the team will be like, oh, we're bad. I don't want to play football. And then they'll lose a lot.
Yeah, no, you are definitely right there on the nose.
Do you think David Johnson's going to have a good year or no?
I think he will. I don't think he's going to be up to I think that rookie season was kind of like it for him. But I just I don't know. I just am not. I want him to do well. I don't know if I could see it, you know?
Same. That rookie season was fucking magic though.
It was. I hope it comes back again.
Yeah, he's a very easy guy to root for. Super, super down to earth, nice dude.
Love it. All right, you got anything else you want to add for the rest of this podcast?
No, man, I don't think so. We covered a lot of ground here, so I think I'm all set. You?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm gold, Pony Boy.
All right. Well, if you want to follow the show, you can do so at JuicingPod on Twitter. You can send us an email via juicingthenumbers@gmail.com. And I didn't tell you this, Corwin, but I updated our website, so you can reach us at juicingthenumbers.com.
Just juicingthenumbers.com.
That's it.
Wow, it's that simple.
It's that easy, folks.
I'm sorry I had to do it.
No, it's all good. And if until we speak again on Thursday, y'all have a good one.
Bye.